Hey, today on FlyWire, this is a short one. I've just been hearing a lot about what's the best way to do best glide. You don't need to remember a number. So I've heard the advice, I've read it, and I think I'm going to try it out in this airplane and see if it works. Let's see. So stick with us on FlyWire. Hey, I'm Scott Perdue, and today on FlyWire, we're going to try this technique I've been hearing running around on the internet. What a great solution it is for an engine out situation. Unload all the thought process, etc. So if you have an engine failure, just stay level, slow down, and then trim full nose up, and then the airplane will seek out its best glide speed. And a little skeptical, but hey, you know, I'm an open mind. I want to try it out, see if it applies to any wing-loaded any airplane, wing loading not being a factor. My nickel is that I suspect that it's actually more a function of wing loading, and the people that are talking about doing this full nose-up trim and let it go kind of a thing are really folks that are flying primarily trainer airplanes, light airplanes, probably high wing. Very stable kind of airplanes. This is an aerobatic Bonanza. It is a trainer. It was born a trainer, flown by KLM as their trainer airplane for years, as well as they bought 17 of them. So anyway, it's why they train their airline pilots. So we're going to check that out today and see just how that works. So engine out. The plan is to go fully engine to idle, and then as we're slowing down, I'm going to trim full nose up, and we're going to see what happens. I want to record how it goes. All right, so realize that full nose up trim, when you trim, you're trimming for an angle of attack. We don't have angles of attack or indicators in this airplane that are reliable, and frankly, the pressure differential AOA indicators are not reliable in this instance for us. So we really need a vane to figure that out. We don't have it. So what we're going to do is what you do trim for essentially is you reduce it from the AOA to our proxy, and that's airspeed. So we're going to see how that works for us. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start pulling the power back. I've got the autopilot on right now, so it's going to hold level flight for me. And there it goes. Saying the gear's not down. I have a gear warning horn. I'm gonna hit that off, and then I'm gonna turn the autopilot off, and then I'm gonna trim nose up as we slow down. So there's 12 units. That's 87, 86. Best glide in this airplane is there's 21 units. That's a way nose up. I'd say that's way too much. There's 18. There's 72, which by the autopilot, it's going to say, okay, I got to pitch it up. So it's going to pitch it up for that. All right, now we go and see. Now it's descending. It's going to go to a trimmed airspeed. There's the stall warning indicator. All right. The autopilot GFC 500 ESP is taking over, and it's going to pitch it down. So there we're going to fall off on a wing. There's the autopilot doing this thing again as we hit the stall. It pitches it up. It's going to hit another stall, and it would pitch it up again. So, this is not really working for me. So there's 76. Best glide's 105 by the POH in this airplane. And there it is. It just keeps going. We're in this weird-ass phugoid argument between the autopilot and the stall. And it is not leveling out. I think if we went any higher, there it goes. There's the pitch up.
Autopilot, GFC
see what happens. I'm just going to let it go here. I'm not going to interfere. 56. It's pretty close to the stall.
Engaging autopilot.
Okay, great. It's going to level us off, but we don't have power, so that's not going to work very well anyway. All right, that's a backfire. We're going to cut that out, and we're going to knock this off and accelerate. So, warm up our engine a little bit here. I got to get trim back to something manageable. All right, that's a pretty good power setting right now, back to speed. Okay, cool. So what did we learn from that? Yeah, I think wing loading is a big issue, and this technique of just rolling in full up trim, it doesn't work. I wasn't even near full up trim. I was 18 and it goes over 21 units. I think it goes up to about 22. So it's a big trim margin. And that's all the deal with trim CG, right? So it just didn't work very well. So I would say, as far as myths go, that one's busted. I would not rely on that. It may be a great technique in a 150, a DA-40, 172 airplane like that, which is not heavily wing loaded, totally different wing design, actually. So I would say it may work great in certain airplanes, but it doesn't work great in a blanket situation. So if you want to try this out and not have it in the back of your mind of what best glide speed is, then I suggest you try it out for yourself and see if it works in the airplane you fly. Because in my opinion, it don't work in this airplane at all. So anyway, there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Learned something. I did. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on FlyWire.